This is Nicholas Snow, and what can I say? You gotta vote.
Gotta get up.
Gotta get to class.
Gotta pay that tuition.
Gotta get a job.
Gotta move out.
Gotta make my own decisions. About my own health.
About my own life.
Gotta stay positive.
Gotta keep working.
Gotta keep believing.
That it's our country.
Our country.
It's our country too.
Gotta keep moving forward.
Not back.
Gotta keep hope. Gotta vote.
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 I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Visit www.gottavote.com. That's GOTTAVOTE. www.gottavote.com. Hello and welcome to today's show. I am your host, Nicholas Snow. My motto, small screen, big queen, worldwide audience. On today's show, I'm very excited to bring you a fascinating interview with a very interesting man. He is one of Samsung's global bloggers. He is an actor. He's famous in Italy and perhaps other countries. His name is Armando Pizzuti, and I'm going to be back with Armando and his fascinating life right after this.
You thought it was simply raining men. Well, now it's actually snowing men. And women. And transgender folks as well. Although this storm originated in Hollywood, it has simply become too powerful for Tinseltown to contain. In fact, it's now a snowstorm of global proportions, engulfing people of all genders and sexual orientations, from all walks of life, in every country, and throughout cyberspace. In the forecast, we have adventures in the world of travel and entertainment, news of current events, sexuality and politics, lifestyle, fitness and spirituality, personal empowerment, pop culture, and more. So grab your snowshoes or take shelter. If you want help with the drifting snow, grab a shovel and get ready to call, chat, or tweet, because a blizzard is inevitable. At the center of the snowstorm is one of the world's primo promo homos on the go-go, Mr. Nicholas Snow himself. His slogan, small screen, big queen, worldwide audience. You've heard it before, now you'll hear it again. Over 6 feet of snow has hit the internet. Yes, as you anticipated, perhaps with great excitement, or with fear and trepidation, or maybe even with unadulterated joy. It's time for SnowbizNow.
As promised, I'm in the SnowbizNow studios with Armando Pizzuti, and for the record, this interview is being recorded on September 6, 2012, in a gorgeous 4-bedroom guest house that's behind a great estate in the movie colony area of Palm Springs, California. As you may know, Palm Springs has a very rich Hollywood history, so you can't be more glamorous than this. Welcome to the show, Armando.
Thank you. Hi.
Hello. Now, first of all, I'm going to get into how you became a Samsung global blogger in a little bit, but I want to explore a little bit about your past first. Tell me where you were born and raised, where you grew up, the typical information about your background.
All right. Yes, I was born in a very small village in the southeast of Italy called Carpinone. And I actually lived there till I was 18 years old, and then I moved to Rome. Because I wanted to do the acting school. So I moved there, and, I'm coming from a very small village. It was, in my village there are only 1,000 people living there. So it's very, very small. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody talks about everybody. It's it's nice in a way. But, I really needed to move out and, go to a bigger city. So when I went to Rome, for me, it was not like, I wasn't scared of this big city. I was just liking it, and it was nice. And now I lived there for 10 years, and I think probably it's time to move somewhere else.
Was it a historically old village like you would see in the Godfather movies, or was it more modern, or a mix of both?
Well, it's a very medieval village. We have a castle in the village that I think it is from, yeah, it must be from 14s probably. And so the village has a very historical part up on a hill. It's up on a hill, and then there's a new part of the village that is just down. So it can be divided into two parts. I'm living in the new part, but it's very nice. I mean, it's enchanting when you see it, especially when you're coming. When you're driving towards him and you see the castle on the hill, it's very beautiful. Yeah.
And does your family go back for generations and generations in that part of Italy?
Yeah. My parents are from there, and also their parents, and yeah, they've always been from them. Actually, my parents lived in Switzerland for a while when they got married, but then they moved back to Italy, so I was born in Italy. Yeah, but they've always been there.
Okay, and if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 28 years old.
So it was about 10 years ago that you made your way to Rome to find your way in show business. And had you already been accepted into the acting school, or did you move there and then audition? What is the name of the school, and what is the selection process?
It was strange because actually I moved to Rome to go to the university. That's what I said to my parents at the beginning, because they were so scared of me being, an actor, and, they were scared about the future and everything. So when I went there for the first 6 months, I was at university. But then I left it because I was just going around auditions and, looking for agents, and I actually wasn't going to university. So I just left it after 6 months, and I started this school. The school is called Beatrice Bracco. She's a very famous teacher in Italy. She's from Argentina, actually, but she moved in Rome like many years ago. And the process was very easy. I had an audition for that, and I was taken into the school, and it was so exciting. And I was finally, doing what I wanted. And then my parents were really okay with that. They never told me, oh, you don't have to do it. No, they were always supportive of me. And I think that has been a great help for me, really. Because, a lot of parents, especially in the south of Italy, and, they say, oh, no, you can be an actor, you have to go to school, you have to go to university, or if you want to be an actor, then you go out of the house and you have to you think for yourself. And I actually, even if this word for them is so distant, it's so unknown, they've always been supportive of me, and this is really a gift for me, has been, yeah.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have a younger sister. She's 25 years old. She married last year, and she lives in my village where my parents are. But she works in a very close city from Carpinone.
So you have one sibling, and it's a younger daughter. Now, in Italian families, are there pressure for the kids to get married and start families right away?
Oh, well, they don't feel, it's like my sister was with her boyfriend since they were 14 years old. And these things are very typical in Italy, especially in the south of Italy. People get married very soon. It's just probably when you live in a small place and you have your job, and I don't know, they just feel, they were together for so long, so I think it was just the right time to marry.
Is it common for people who grow up in your town to basically stay there, get jobs, and live there their entire lives? Or is it common that people would leave the small village to make their way in the world? Well,
I think both of them. For example, when I was in my medium school, that I went in medium school when I was living there. Half of the people who were in my class stayed there. They got a job there and they remained there. Actually, probably even more than half. I just think that probably me and other 3 or 4 people moved away from that place, moved to a big city like Rome or Milan, but it's still, so many people still remains there. Yeah.
Okay, so you dropped out of university, which you weren't going to begin with, after 6 months, to go to acting class. Then what happened?
It was well, they were the 3 years, the most how can I say, the most fun 3 years of my life in Rome, because it was all new for me. Living in a big city, going out every night, meeting so many people. And I studied in the school for 3 years, but I was actually always trying to get auditions. I was trying to get an agent. So I was with one foot in the school studying, and with other foot going out and, you know, trying to get auditions, trying to get a job. And actually my teacher was quite upset with that, because she always told me, oh no, you gotta stay in the school, because sometimes I was late at school because probably I was coming from an audition. And I was like, why? I mean, I'm trying to get what I want to do, and even if I'm late, I mean, it's not because I want to be late, it's because I've done an audition and probably they will get me for a movie. So so I was there for 3 years, and actually the last year, the school was finishing in June. Yeah, and in May I was picked up for a theater play. And I was so excited because there was a really big play in Rome in a very famous and big theater.
What is the name of the play and the name of the theater?
The name of the play was Proust.
Okay.
Yeah, and I played a young Proust. And the name of the theater is Teatro India. That is part of the Rome theater. Because in Rome we have the Theater of Rome, that is made of 2 big theaters. Is Theater Argentina, and this other one, Theater India. So, yeah.
Do you happen to know how many people you were competing against for that role? Were there a lot of callbacks? Was it highly competitive?
No, actually, it was. There were just 2 of us who were selected for the parts. I don't know how many before, actually, but I remember there were 2, me and another guy who were competing for the part, and it was strange because this director used to call this guy for one day of rehearsals, and the next day I was going for the rehearsal. So he was making both of us, making rehearsals, because he was so undecided about who he wanted for the play.
Were you being paid for these rehearsals?
No. In Italy it's quite different from here. Well, most of the times, especially big production, you are paid. But most of the productions, smaller production, they just pay like, they give you a cachet for, like, for example, 1 month of rehearsals. Or some production don't even pay the rehearsals. It depends on the play and on the productions.
So how were you supporting yourself for these 3 years in Rome?
Well, I did any kind of jobs, like I was a waiter, I was, how do you call it when you work in a phone call?
Call center?
Call center, yes. And actually my parents helped me, paying the rent. So I was doing jobs, but they were always helped me. And, I'm so thankful to them.
So you got the lead role of the young Proust, and how large is the audience, and do you remember opening night and the reviews and what it was like?
Oh my God, it was amazing, because for me it was the first time on a very big stage. I don't know how many seats there were. There were like probably 500 or 600 seats. So it was scary. I mean, I was scared, and I was.
You were about 21 at the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was 21, and it was like the first real big thing. Because I did theater when I was in high school, but it was different. It was like the school theater. So this was the real thing for the first time. I remember I was so emotional. I mean, so I just say I was so really, yeah, I was scared. But when I went on stage, like after the first minute, I was ready. I mean, and I didn't see all the people anymore, and I liked it. It was fun.
And how many days or weeks did the show run?
No, the show ran for I think 10 days or 8 or 10 days. I don't remember exactly.
And did your parents come for opening night, and your sister, and how was their response?
Well, my sister didn't come because she was working, but my parents came from, they took the train and came to Rome to see me, and they were so, because the play was quite difficult to understand because it was very modern
interpretation.
Exactly. So if you don't really know Proust very well, it was quite difficult to understand what was happening on stage, because also there weren't so much dialogues between the actors, and there were lots of images created by the director with lights and us. So they were quite confused about it, but they were just there, crying of joy seeing me on stage. They were happy about it. It was emotional. It was cool.
So they realized that money they were sending you every month was actually creating some results.
They were probably started thinking, even if I don't know if they are sure about it even now.
Okay, well, when we come back, I want to talk to you about your first big film and television breaks. So don't go away. I'll be back with more with Armando after this.
How many times have you been on vacation with naked men swimming and sunbathing and very much enjoying one another's company? This is a common experience in Palm Springs, California, where one of the most popular gay men's clothing optional resorts is the Warm Sands Villas, conveniently located near the airport, restaurants, and nightlife. Guests may choose from a variety of room types and enjoy 24-hour access to the pool, hot tub, and roof deck with an unobstructed view of stunning mountains and the surrounding area. For more information, check out warmsandsvillas.com. To view a 20-minute documentary about the Warm Sands Villas, check out the videos at SnowbizNow.com.
And now it's time to check in with Tony Marchese at Trio Restaurant, where Palm Springs eats.
We have guests that come here every week and just sit at the bar because they meet new people all the time. Every week someone tells us they met someone new at Trio, and then they come back with them the next week after. So that's the kind of place you want to be. When you feel at home, you're happy. Mark and I are from the Midwest, so when we opened Trio, we wanted to bring that Midwest feeling here to California. Our pot roast is our #1 seller. Our soul is unbelievable. So we're affordable. We have a great staff. You're always welcome.
For a video all about Trio, go to SnowbizNow.com and click on the video tab in the sub-menu, or check out TrioPalmSprings.com.
Join Desert AIDS Project for our biggest walk ever, the 25th Anniversary Palm Springs AIDS Walk, presented by the Agua Caliente Band of Cahuilla Indians. This year we are honored as the recipient of the inaugural Spirit of Stonewall Advocate of the Year Award. Register online today at desertaidsproject.org and walk away with a cool Keith Haring-inspired t-shirt. The 2012 Palm Springs AIDS Walk kicks off Sunday, November 4th. Registration opens at 7:30 a.m. Come out and walk, show DAP the love.
New designer furnishings, sparkling cocktail rings, vintage jeans and shirts for moms, teens, boys, and flirts. Area rugs and stylish bedding design your wedding. Shiny knickknacks and glam Hollywood throwbacks. You'll find it here at Revivals. Voted Best of the Valley thrift stores. Now with even more new treasures, plus one-of-a-kind consignment and estate items. Fashion, accessories, furniture, it's all in store at Revivals. Find it here. Visit us at revivalstores.com to find a Revivals store near you.
You're listening to Snowbiz Now with Nicholas Snow. Small screen, big queen, worldwide audience. It's not radio, it's Gadio.
I am so excited because now, just by being a listener of Snowbiz Now, you get to save money at some of the best establishments around the world. For coupons and special offers exclusively for Snowbiz Now listeners, go to snowbiznow.com and click on the Coupons Special Offers tab in the main menu. You'll be glad you did. If you would like to make a special offer to SnowbizNow listeners, get in touch with me. To do that, go to SnowbizNow.com and click on the contact link in the submenu. I am so excited! Did I sound like Oprah? And I'm back in the SnowbizNow studios with actor and new travel guru Armando Pizzuti telling us about his early adventures as an actor in Rome. So you're at this theater school for 3 years. You get a big break where you're one of the stars of a play in Rome with 10 nights of performances for an audience of about 500 people each night. Did that bring forward opportunities for you?
Well, actually, yes, because after just 2 months from that show, I was picked up for, I shot my first movie, and it was August, because I did the play in May, and in August, 3 months later, I shot this movie that at the beginning, you know, nobody was expecting anything. It was just a teenager movie about a group of 5 or 6 young teenagers. They were doing final exams in high school. And so I think it was even a low-budget movie.
What is the title of the movie?
In Italy, the movie is Notte Prima DegliEsami, that it means night before the exams. And so I shot this movie. I was playing the nerd of the classroom. I had big glasses on me. And the movie was set in the 80s. And it was fun. We were just all young people, you know, like in high school. It was really, really fun to shoot it. And when he came out, I mean, it was a huge success. Like that, nobody was expecting that. Like it stayed on the first place of the chart for 6 months.
So you basically became a movie star at the age of 22.
It was, I wouldn't say a movie star, but it was fun.
Well, you were one of the stars of this movie. There was an ensemble film.
Yeah.
And it was the #1 box office movie for 6 months. So if that's not a movie star, what is a movie star?
Well, I don't know what is a movie star.
I mean, would you be recognized as you went around Rome? Oh, you're the guy from the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, well, for me, that classifies as a movie star, you know. So you're not Sophia Loren, but you're up there, you know. That's a big beginning.
Yeah, it was actually a very good beginning, you know. I could never expect something like that. It was so fun.
And you probably got paid at least something for the movie, right?
Well, yeah. We weren't paid that much because it was a very low budget movie. But then the movie, earned so much money. They decided to do a sequel. Actually, at the beginning, they were thinking about not doing a sequel, but doing TV fiction in episodes about the movie.
A series.
A series, yeah. But then they thought about it again, and they decided they wanted to do a sequel. That was quite different because it was not really a sequel.
Did you have an agent at this time?
Yes.
And did your agent negotiate a better deal for you in the sequel?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, even because, you know, now they got so much money from the first movie, so they were willing to pay a little bit more. So.
And were you able to pay your parents back for some of the school money that they sent you all those years?
I can say I just paid them back, but they stopped paying me for everything.
Exactly. You paid them by not taking more from them.
Exactly, and that was good for them. They were happy about it. And so we did this movie that it was not really a sequel, but they called it a prequel. It was something different because we were the same characters, but 20 years later in time. Like the first movie was set in the 80s, and the second movie was set in the real days in 2006.
Well, that's not a prequel. A prequel happens before the original story. So, I understand what you mean.
Oh, yes, they had another word for that, and I don't remember.
Not a sequel.
Not a sequel. Not a prequel.
A new chapter.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. We were basically the same characters with the same names and everything.
Right, exactly.
But it was like 2 years later. It's like it was a new generation of these old characters. And it was fun. It was so much fun. I mean, I can say I liked the first one more because probably it was my first movie, it was my first big thing, so I was so. But even the second one was very successful, and it was a blockbuster too. It was really good.
So between the movies, did you begin to get other roles in movies or roles in commercials? How did your ability to support yourself as an actor unfold?
Well, it was good because actually while I was shooting the second movie, I was doing a theater play in Rome, and then we left for a tour all around Italy. So that was even quite difficult.
What play was that?
It was a Pirandello play. It was called, in Italian it's called L'uomo, la bestia e la virtù. That is one of the most famous Pirandello plays. And we were doing it when I was shooting the movie, the second movie. I was actually having a tour with this show. So every day I was in a different city in Italy, but every day I had to come back to Rome to shoot the movie. So it was a very nice period, but it was really hard even for me because sometimes I was so worried about, oh no, I'm gonna lose the flight and I can't go and I can't be in time at the show because it was fun. We went around Italy with this tour for about 1 year, and then in the meantime, when we finished the movie, at the same time I was doing the play too. I was picked up for another TV series in 6 episodes. There was The Black Arrow. That was the name of the series. There was an Italian, very famous series in the 60s that they decided to do a new edition in 2006 in 6 episodes. And that was cool because we spent like 6 months shooting it between North Italy and Southern Italy because we shoot in winter. So the first 3 months of winter, like October, November, December, we went into the Alps in north of Italy. But then it became very, very cold and too much snow to shoot there. So we went down south, in the south of Italy. And we shoot for another 3 months, like January, February, and March. And that was a nice experience because I also got because I was riding a horse in the series because it was a series set in the Middle Ages where we were like this Robin Hood.
So did you have a wig for long hair?
Yes, I had some extensions, like not really a wig. They improved my hair a little bit longer, and we had to ride a horse. So they made us do horse riding before shooting the movie, and also how'd you say like this
sword fighting, but
exactly.
fencing,
yeah, because there were scenes we were fighting each other, and it was really fun. I met a lot of people, and staying away from 6 months, it was really cool.
And your stardom was clearly growing, but did any of these films or TV series have major Italian stars in them that you got to work with?
Oh, yes. In the first movie that I shot, the big name was a very famous Italian actor called Giorgio Faletti, and he was the main character of the movie. And then we were all young teenagers, and also in the second movie actually. There was a very, very famous comedy actor, Giorgio Panariello. He's very big. He's a host and a comedy actor in Italy, very famous, and other main names. And also in theater, with the lead actor of the play of Pirandello play is a very famous actor in Italy. It's called Leo Gullotta, and There were even in the fiction. I mean, there were famous actors. It was fun working with them because I've always seen them on TV or the movies. So I was just working with them was so fun, and I really learned a lot from them. Yeah, they were great masters for me.
And all right, so you had 3 years in acting school. And in 2 months later, you had this run in a play, and 2 months after that, you're in a movie, and you're off and running. How must your parents have been feeling?
My parents were, I mean, I guess they were more excited than me, and especially because the people in you know, where I live is asking them, "Oh my God, I see your son there. I've seen your son over there." And they were, you know, they were like, oh yes. No, it was something strange for them. I don't know if they quite understood what was happening at the time. It probably was weird for them. And because, you know, it's a very small village where everybody knows everybody, and all these people stopping them and said, "Oh my God, I saw Armando there. Oh, you're the..." Or they were saying, "Oh, she's the mother of the actor," you know, something like that. It was so funny.
So they became famous in their own little village.
Yeah.
As a result of being your parents.
Yeah, I think so.
And is your sister fazed by this at all? Is she impressed with it? Does she care, or is it just like, oh, no big deal?
Well, I think for her it's not a big deal at all.
And when you went to her wedding, were people like, "Oh, there's a star at the wedding"?
Well, they know me because I grew up there.
So you were with people that have known you all your life, and they don't perceive you that way.
Exactly. Some little kids, I say, like that I didn't know, because when I left my village, you know, probably they weren't even born or something. But they saw the movie, and, you know, for them it was a big deal. Like, see, I mean, there was something. Some of them, they were arguing me and say, "Oh, you."
So to them, you're a movie star. Whether or not you're a movie star in your own mind, you were in their minds.
Probably.
Why don't you just say yes?
Okay, yes.
All right. So, has it just been one movie and TV series after another since then? For the last 8 years?
No, there have been other TV series, and there have been a lot of theaters that have been around. I actually was in another play that we went around Italy for 2 years, so that really got me really busy for 2 years. I quite actually didn't do a lot because I was always around. We went even in Switzerland with this tour.
And what play was that?
That was a Pasolini. Actually, the play was about Pasolini, and it was called La Notte delle Lucciole. And yeah, that went around for 2 years, so it was very busy with them, and I couldn't have the chance to be in Rome quite long. I just shot a few commercials during these 2 big years and little TV series, but because I was away from Rome for so long, I couldn't have the chance to do so much stuff. So, but it was nice. It was a nice play. I really liked it. And when you tour, you got this chance to see so many places, even some places that probably you would never go there, and it's nice. Sometimes you miss home because sometimes you are so far and you're not at home. You're away from your friends and your family for so long. But I like that. I like travel. I'm always around whenever I can. I just go.
Well, when we come back with the very talented and cute Armando Pizzuti, we're going to find out how he became a children's TV star after this.
Are you captivated and wondering just what is next? Well, you should be. The score you're listening to is by award-winning producer, arranger, composer, and musician, Bruno Brugnano. Bruno has recorded and performed with leading musicians worldwide and has produced over 100 albums. Leading and respected directors and producers from throughout the world have entrusted Bruno to compose riveting and compelling scores for their film and television projects. For more information, visit www.brugnanobruno.webs.com. That's www.brugnanobruno.webs.com. Don't even consider making a movie without Bruno Brugnano. Seeking an adventure of a lifetime? Thailand awaits you with world-class resorts and spas, breathtaking beaches, beautiful Buddhist temples, and Bangkok, complete with SkyTrains, subways, and ultra-modern shopping malls. leave home as a man and return as a woman if that's who you truly are. After all, many of Thailand's private hospitals are world leaders in sexual reassignment surgery. Start your adventure at facebook.com/visit Thailand. One of the world's finest Italian restaurants is actually in a suburb of Bangkok, Thailand. Oregano Pizza and Pasta. A bit of a trek by taxi from the central business district, but oh, so worth it. Preparing secret recipes passed down for generations, chefs have decades of experience using only the finest imported ingredients. Oregano, spelled with an I. Google Oregano Pizza and Pasta Bangkok. You'll be glad you did. Can't get enough of Hollywood? Are you bursting with news and gossip of your own? You are cordially invited to join our free social network at notesfromhollywood.com, home of the paparazzi prison. Sign up for free now. Publicize your events. Share your blogs, photos, and dreams. We report and celebrate worldwide adventures in travel and entertainment. Isn't it time to honor your inner movie star? Do so now at notesfromhollywood.com. You're listening to SnowbizNow with Nicholas Snow. Small screen, big queen, worldwide audience. It's not radio, it's Gadio.
And we're back in the SnowbizNow studios. I am your host, Nicholas Snow, with our special guest, Italian actor, I'm going to say heartthrob. Are you a heartthrob in Italy? Do you have like women and men chasing you around and screaming and wanting to marry you?
Oh my God, no. No, I don't have them screaming.
They just show up at your apartment in the middle of the night.
Oh my God.
So do you, are you still based in Rome?
Yes, I'm still based in Rome, even if for the last few years I'm really thinking about moving somewhere else.
And have you been able to buy an apartment or a home, or are you still rent? What's your living situation like?
I still rent it.
But your parents don't pay your rent for you?
No.
Now, if I remember correctly, you were in a film that got a lot of international attention, and it brought you to Palm Springs for a film festival. Is that true? Did you come to Palm Springs for a film festival?
Well, actually not.
No. Oh, right. Were you in a movie that had international success?
I guess it was this first movie. It was Notte Prima DegliEsami. This had international success. I think it was shot in America also in some festivals. I'm sure it was shot in a festival in LA. Yeah, probably it's this one. This is the most international thing.
Okay, so I remember before I ever met you or knew of you, reading about you, and I thought that it was in conjunction with a project. So you didn't come to the United States in relation to a film or TV show or in your capacity as an actor.
Well, I actually came here to look for opportunities to see what it's like here in California.
So you came to LA looking to break into Hollywood.
Exactly.
Okay. And when was that?
Well, it's kind of hard because especially.
When did you come here?
Oh, first time was last year.
Only a year ago.
Yeah, only a year ago.
I feel like I've known of you for a lot longer than that. So that's the power of Facebook.
Probably.
Yes.
Probably. No, I just came last year for the first time, and actually I was so overwhelmed with the city that is so spread out, it's so big, and you can go around with public transportations, you have to have a car. It's so different from anything else in Europe. So I was quite, so I was so overwhelmed, and I said, "Oh my God, where I gonna go now? What I gotta do?" And so the first time it was just the time to understand how is the city and how to get around, all this kind of stuff. I wasn't actually doing so much things like, but this time I came back and I know how to move, I know how to get around. I rent a car so I can go around at least. So, and I'm trying to get an agent here. That would be my goal.
Okay, now I promised our listeners we would talk about how you became a television star for kids. Now, you are a regular in a television series that's very popular in Italy, and it's a kids program.
Yeah, it's called Melevisione. That came last year. I was just came back from America, and I heard about these auditions. They were looking for two young, a girl and a boy, to play the prince and the princess of the elves in this very famous show that is going on for 13 years in Italy. So I just sent my pictures, and they called me back to have an audition. And actually, the show is not taped in Rome, it's taped in Turin, in north of Italy. So I just got on this flight early in the morning. I went to Turin, and I did this audition. And I mean, in 1 hour, it was done. And I had my flight like 8 o'clock in the night. So I was like, and I wasn't really happy about the audition. I thought, oh my God, what did I do? Like, I lost a chance, I lost an opportunity. I was so depressed about it. I said, I went till here in Turin and I did this, oh my God. But then after a while, they called me and said, well, you know, we're...
After a while that day, or after a few days or weeks?
After like 2 weeks probably, that I was thinking, okay, I was picked up for the role. And then suddenly they call me from the production and says, well, actually, we really liked your auditions, and we're thinking about how to use you in the show. And I was like, oh, what that means? I mean, I just played and I auditioned for this role. And then after a week, they called me back and said me, okay, so you're in the show. We won't cast the character that you auditioned in for, but we just created a new character for you, and it will be the gnome postman of the fantasy wood. I was like so excited.
The gnome postman of the fantasy wood.
Yeah, it sounds crazy, I know. But I can say that it's so funny when we shoot it. It's like we are all these characters like elves, witches, fairies, gnomes, ogres, or you know, this kind of people living in this fantasy world. So there are some bad characters and some good characters. Like in every episode, something bad is going to happen in the fantasy world. So the good characters, you know, they fight and do something. Then at the end of the episode, you know, the good wins over evil, and you know, and stuff like that. And every episode has a moral in it. They teach kids things, so it's a very nice show. It's a very good show. I think it's one of the only TV shows for kids in Italy that they really do it and produce it and shoot it there. So it's very Italian things, because they have lots of stuff coming from other countries, and I really like it, and it's so funny. And when we do live shows, because sometimes we do live shows in theaters or other places, I mean, you see all these kids that come to you and look at you like you're, like with this face, and you know, you have these things in their eyes, like they see they're superheroes, and it's like it's magic. It's so cool. I like it, and kids are great. I mean,
so how many do they give you a contract 1 year at a time or one season at a time?
Yes, that's what they do. I had a contract for the first series that ended up in May. At beginning of June, and now we're going to shoot the second series, the next series, like in December, I think it was.
And how many episodes are you in?
Oh, in the first series, 10 episodes. They were 7 at the beginning, but then they became 10. So I was so happy about it. It was nice.
And do you know how many episodes are in the next season?
And did I do? Oh, I don't know. No, I have no idea.
And do you get, you don't have to tell me what you get paid, but do you get paid per episode or per season? How does that work?
Per episode. Per episode, that's what I do.
And which network, is it a network television program, or is it syndicated to many different stations?
No, it's a network program. Actually, it's from, we have this public television in Italy. It's called RAI, R-A-I. It's the biggest network in Italy, and it's like state TV.
I think that channel is syndicated worldwide.
Yeah.
I do believe that channel is available in multiple countries.
It is.
So does that mean your show is also available worldwide?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure actually, but I think so. On the cables, you can see it.
Just so I don't forget, do you personally have an official website?
Yes, I have an official website. It's called ArmandoPizzuti.com. But
spell Pizzuti for our listeners.
It's Pizzuti.
Okay. But Armando Pizzuti, Pizzuti.com. .com? .com.it or just .com?
.com.
Just .com. Okay.
Yeah. It's in remodeling phase now.
Okay.
So when you go there, you just see a page and that has all the other.
And the television series that you are in, do they have an official website?
Yes. The website is Melevisione. That spells MELEVISIONE.RAI.IT.
IT.
Yes. It's melevisione.rai.it. Yeah, and that's the official site, and they also have a Facebook page, official Facebook page that I think it's Melevisione official. Yeah.
So I guess you are most known as the gnome postman of the magic forest.
Yeah, something like that.
And do they give you this outrageous costume with big ears and a giant nose? How long does the makeup take?
Well, no, it's very easy. I don't have any ears and nose. I just, I go with my face.
They thought you already looked like a gnome.
Probably, yeah. I just have a hat, gnome hat, and I have my costume as a gnome, and it's so funny. Actually, when I went to the audition, because I was auditioning for a elf, I put on me this fake elf hairs, and I went to audition like that, and probably they think, oh my god, it's crazy. But, well, probably they impressed them, and they just created this character because they decided they didn't want to cast those two characters they were casting for. But they really liked my auditions. They said, we want to have him in the show now. And so they invented this new character, and it was fun.
Okay, so let's flash back to your small village and your parents and your sister. What do they think about this chapter of your acting career?
Well, they're happy about it, and they can see it on TV every day. So
it runs every day.
It runs every day. Yeah, every episode actually there's 4 different characters. So in every episode you have 4 characters daily, and they rotate every day. It's like a soap, a soap opera that they have changing characters every day. So it is like that. I mean, the characters changes every day. You have 4 different characters and a new episode about something.
Okay. What is clearly this television program is the most visible entertainment project you've been in. What is the most famous movie you've been in so far?
Oh, it's definitely Notte Prima DegliEsami.
The first one?
The first one, yeah. It was the biggest, even the second one, that was the biggest, even internationally, or even in terms of how much money they earned from the movie. It was a very, very big film. In Italy, it's one of the... After that movie, lots of people started to make movies about teenagers, and this movie started all that kind of movies. It was like a really huge thing in Italy. Yeah.
So now I imagine that you are recognized wherever you go in Italy.
Well, quite a lot, yeah.
And in Italy, is it common for someone to ask you for an autograph, or is that a uniquely American experience?
No, well, they do it. And, every time it happens, I'm always so, why? It's like, oh, okay, so shy, or because, I don't know, I'm a very shy person in real life, I had to say. So, yeah.
I understand that completely. I'm also very shy in real life. But when people like you and me and others have these really big public personas, people assume that we must be very outgoing in real life. And for me, I'm not.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I'm really so shy. Like when I have to speak in public as myself, like I become, oh my God, what I'm gonna say. But if I'm a character and I'm on stage or in front of a camera, that's so easy and I don't care. I mean, but if I have to speak in front of people, being Armando, that it's complicated for me, and I get so nervous and yeah.
Something that's sort of a comparison I'll make between the show you've described is, let's say, Sesame Street in the
that's what a lot of people told me. Yeah.
Right, and so when the characters from Sesame Street make a public appearance, like if a little kid were to watch Sesame Street and then have the opportunity to see Big Bird or Miss Piggy or Kermit live at a theater, it must be overwhelming for that little kid. And I'm guessing that when you go into live performances with the cast of this show, that the child audience and their parents must just go nuts. The children at their delight in seeing you and the other cast members, and the parents at the delight of seeing their kids just so excited.
It is actually. And yeah, I just started to do these live shows, and I made it 2 for now, and it was really, really good.
How many people were in the audience of the live shows?
These were actually small shows, because we do different kind of shows. We do a very big show, and that is with like 8 characters, and we do small shows with 2 characters at a time. So in these 2 character shows are meant to be done in smaller locations. But does this big show, like probably we had like 200 or 300 kids, you know, something like that. But there was this big one that is with almost all the cast that I'm not in actually, because this is a show that is going on for like 10 years or something. And I went to see it in Rome at this very, very big theater where there was like 3,000 people or 4,000 people. And it was just, at the end of the show, I saw all these kids. They were going, you know, down the stage and waving to the characters and, you know, singing the songs of the show. And it felt like I was in a rock concert with just that we're all kids, but it was so fun. It was really nice. And when they see you dressed in the character, they just stay like frozen and look at you like, yeah, it's nice. It was funny one time that I met this little girl. Actually, she was probably 5 years old or 6, I don't know. And actually, it was doing another type of performance. But she came to me and she told me, "You're the gnome postman." And I said, "Oh, well, how do you know?" I said, "Yes, I recognized you." And then her mother said, "Is it Armando?" I said, "No, it's not Armando. It's the name postman. It's Martino." That is my name on the show. And then she was telling me questions like, "Why are you dressed like that?" Because I had just had a jeans and a t-shirt. "Why are you dressed like that?" And I said, "Oh, you know, because I was out of the fantasy wood, and, you know, I don't wear that when I don't work. You know, I deliver the mail there, so I dress like that. But when I go out..." And then she said, "Oh, but so, even the fairy dress like that when she's out. I mean, she wears a skirt?" I said, "Well, yeah, she wears a skirt sometimes." That was the funniest thing ever.
Do you happen to know how old the little girl was?
Yeah, I think she was 5 or 4 years old. Yeah, she was so funny. Yeah.
That's lovely. When we come back, we'll talk about your experience as a global blogger. But before the break, tell me, bring us up to speed on your acting career. What's next that you know of, and what's next that you hope for?
Well, what is next that I know of is probably this new season of the Melevisione, and what I hope for is to get a part in Hollywood. That would be a dream.
Well, I bet you it will happen. And when we come back, we're going to hear how Armando became a Samsung global blogger, and we're going to learn about some of his recent travel adventures, which are quite fascinating, so don't go away.
SnowbizNow is a listener and advertiser-supported program. If you believe in the value and importance of this program, we invite you to join Team SnowbizNow today. One option is to subscribe to SnowbizNow.com. Not only will you receive our newsletter, you'll be entitled to add your own content to the website. Another option is to make an annual financial contribution toward the production of the show. If you do, we'll acknowledge you on the air throughout the year as an executive producer. Finally, if you want our growing worldwide audience to know about your business, advertise with us. For more information about all these options, simply visit SnowbizNow.com and click on the Team SnowbizNow link in the main menu. Join Team SnowbizNow today. Thank you in advance for your fantastic support. You're listening to Snowbiz Now with Nicholas Snow.
Small screen, big queen, worldwide audience. It's not radio, it's Gadio.
I want to thank you for listening to Snowbiz Now. I would lose my title of PromoHomo if I didn't once in a while let you know that if you're interested in my services as an actor, as a master of ceremonies, as a voiceover artist, if you want me to appear in your movie or your TV program or help support your event, or if you want me to do a live performance of my HIV testing safer sex awareness song, The Power to Be Strong, let me know. Visit SnowbizNow.com, where you'll find my contact information, and for the specific information about my acting, including clips of past performances, hover over the About item in the main sub-menu. Just hover over the About item in the main sub-menu. And I'm back in the Snowbiz Now studios with Armando Pizzuti. I've really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm fascinated to know about how you became a Samsung global blogger. I'll tell you what I know about it. I know there was a worldwide contest produced by Samsung, and people were competing to be chosen to represent different countries as global bloggers. Am I right? And what would you add to the process of how you became one of them?
That was strange because I didn't know anything about the project except that they were looking for people all over the world and in different ways. Like they were searching people through website competition, through agents, through lots of different ways. And one day my agent called me and said, "Oh, you know, there's this thing, there's audition for Samsung. They're looking for bloggers to go to the Olympics in London and doing interviews and write a blog about what was going on during the Olympics. If you want to go, I mean, she was not so happy about it because they were not given a cachet for the thing. So, but he said, if you want to go to London, and you know, I was like, oh my God, yes, I want to go.
They weren't paying you, but they were paying for the trip?
Exactly. Yes, for everything. Yes, basically for everything. And so I said, oh, why not? And so I had this audition, and after a few days, they called me back saying that I had to do a video where I was pretending to interview someone like in a sport event.
And you were doing the video in Italian for an Italian audience?
No, actually the video was in English. They requested it to be in English. And I did it, and after like 2 months, the winners were announced, and I was one of the winners, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. It was such a wonderful thing, you know, getting this opportunity to go to London during the Olympics and stay there and go to see, you know, these sport events, meeting so much people from all over the world and blogging about what I was doing. It was just an amazing experience, and all the Samsung team was so nice to us. They were really taking care of everything. Everything was so easy, and it was so nice, yeah. And we even got a new Samsung Galaxy S3 from them.
The phone or the tablet?
The phone, but it's actually I think the best telephone now on the market, and it was we had to do videos and blogs with that phone, so it was fun. It was really fun. I had 10 days there in London because I went for the second part of the Olympics, but it was amazing.
How many winners were there from how many countries?
Well, there were people from 20 countries.
20 people?
No.
Or did they have more than one person from...
20 countries. And actually for Italy, for example, we were 4 people, but split into 2 parts. So the two of them were sent the first week, so the first 9 days, and the second part where I was in, so other 2 people were in the second part. And there were people from Brazil, from Australia, from Thailand, from China, America, from all over the world. And I think in my group, so in the second part, I think we were 48 people. And in the other group, because in some countries they picked up 1 person, in some countries they picked up 2, in some countries it was different in every country actually. For Italy, they picked up 4 people. And the first group, I think they were also 50 or something. So we were like 80 people probably altogether, something like that.
And you flew from Rome to London?
Yeah. Yes, from Rome to London, and then we spent there 10 days.
So you were picked up at the airport by the Samsung team. Just tell me what your first day in London was like.
It was fun. We were picked up by a car, and you know, in London they drive on the opposite part of the street. So every time I go there, I forget it actually. And when I went there, when this driver came, and I said, "Can I sit in the front?" Because I wanted to see, you know, the street and stuff. And he said, "Oh yes, if you want, you can sit in the front." And I just went to sit and in the part that he was driving, because that's usually the part that you sit in Italy. So I opened the door, and he said, "Oh no, it's the other way." And I said, "Oh my God, yes, sorry. You know, I come from Italy." And that was so funny, because he was looking at me like, "Oh, well, okay." And then we went to the hotel, and there was this big meeting with all the bloggers and the Samsung team.
And is that when they gave you the phones?
Yes, that was when they gave us the phone. And other goodies, like they gave us a big baggage, they gave us t-shirts, they gave us lots of stuff. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
And so you were there the second half of the Olympics.
Yeah.
What are the different events that you went to? Did you see anyone win a gold medal? How often were you interviewing people?
Well, actually, we didn't interview athletes. We weren't allowed to do that because, you know, there were contracts with sponsors and stuff. So basically what we had to do was blogging about what was going on around London during those days. And we were sent to 2 big sport events. One was, for me, was a football match, and another one was a handball, female handball finale. And that was fun because there was Norway against what was the other country? I think it was Slovenia or Croatia. I don't remember. I don't know exactly. But and Norway won the gold medal. So we saw all the the ceremony of the medals, and it was so emotional. They were playing the national anthem of the 3 countries, and they were all on the podium. And military people, they were, you know, hanging the medals and gave them. It was pretty cool. I liked it.
How was the weather?
The weather, I had to say, I wasn't expecting this, but the weather was quite cool all days. We had a few days that it was quite cold. I mean, it's colder than here, especially at night. It gets very, very cold. But during the day, it was okay. Yeah, it was always sunny.
And did you go to the closing ceremonies?
I went to not to the closing ceremony at the stadium. They sent us at the Hyde Park.
Oh, for the television relay of the ceremony.
Yeah, we went there. There was the Blur concert at Hyde Park. So it was paying concert. You had to have a ticket in order to get there, and they sent us to this Hyde Park thing, not at the official venue where the closing ceremony was held. That was so, because I was really hoping to go to the Olympic Stadium for the closing ceremony, but they sent us to Hyde Park.
And can people still find your blogs on as a Samsung global blogger somewhere online, and if so, where?
Yeah, it's still online. The address is samsungglobalblogger.msn.com. But if you Google Samsung Global Blogger, it will come up first, and you click there, and then you have to choose me between all these bloggers. And the blog is only in Italian because they wanted that every bloggers did the blog in his local language, so for the people of his country to understand it. So every blogger did the blog in his local language. So the blog is just in Italian, but if you go Google Translate, you will translate it and you can understand what's going on. But I use a lot of pictures in the blog, so it's
and are any of your videos online?
And there are videos online, yes. Those 2 videos of the competitions, they are in English, and also I think I did other few videos in the blog.
Are your duties as a Samsung global blogger officially complete?
No, what did you say?
Are you finished with your
Yes, it's finished now. The Olympics are finished. Now they're having the Paralympics, but they're not doing this. So yeah, it's finished. It was a very, very nice experience, one of the best in my life. And I really was so happy to meet all these people. It was just an amazing experience.
Now, because I'm your friend on Facebook, I happen to know that in this trip you've had some spectacular travel adventures. So tell me where you've traveled, not only to the U.S. on this trip, but tell me about different places in the world you've had the opportunity to visit, and what is most memorable to you about those destinations.
Well, I mean, this trip that I'm doing now,
we can start with this trip.
Okay. This trip has been amazing. I came here in Southern California in Palm Springs, and then we took a car and went to Santa Fe, New Mexico. But while we were doing there, we stopped in Arizona, at Jerome, this very small village, and then we went to Sedona. It was amazing, and then we stopped a night at Flagstaff City.
I grew up in Flagstaff.
Oh, really?
My father lives outside of Sedona, and I've been to Jerome many times.
Oh my God, so you know well.
Yes.
Yeah, it was amazing. I really like this. All these views are like on the canyons, especially in Sedona, and the color of the city with this orange.
The red rock.
Yeah, the red rock. It was just amazing. I really, really liked it. And so the day after, we stopped at the Grand Canyon, and that was the most amazing experience, really, I had to say. It was just, seeing the canyons from the North Rim. We were in the South Rim, I think. Because
I'm not sure.
The South Rim.
You went from Flagstaff, right?
Yeah. It's the one that is always open all day long.
I'm not sure. It's been a long time
probably,
since I've been.
Probably it's the South Rim. And it was just amazing. We hiked for like 3 or 4 miles through
into the canyon or around it, or around it.
Around the canyon, yeah. And the view is just like a dream. You always see these things in television since you're a kid, but when you really see it with your own eyes, it's like you're breathless. You're like, oh my God, this is amazing, and you really think how small you are compared to all that greatness. It was just amazing. I really loved it. And then we went to Santa Fe. Santa Fe, that I really liked it. It's a small city, I have to say, but it's full of art, and it's different from anything else I've ever seen, and I liked it. We went to Taos also, another small city very close to Santa Fe, and when we're coming back, we stopped by Laughlin, Nevada. So in this trip, I've been in 4 states, actually, because I was in California, I was in Arizona, I was in New Mexico, and Nevada.
And did you also go to LA this
Yes,
trip? And
I went to LA,
what were you doing there?
Just going around, and because I was with some friends who've never been in California before and in LA, so I wanted to show them most of the cities. So we really saw lots of stuff. We've been in downtown LA, we saw Little Tokyo, and Pueblo of Los Angeles, that I heard that even people who live in Los Angeles doesn't know about it, actually. And it was really fun. There's a small area where they are the oldest buildings in LA, the first buildings built in LA. And then I was obviously in Hollywood, under the Hollywood sign, on Mulholland Drive, Beverly Hills, almost everywhere. I liked it.
And what do you like best about Palm Springs?
The weather. I know it sounds strange.
It's not strange. I love the heat too.
The people always tell me that this weather is so hot, and it is actually, and it's very humid, but I like it because I like hot weather. I'm always cold, so I love this weather. Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to say in conclusion?
Well, I don't know. I was just happy to meet you, and having the chance to having this interview is really nice. And just want to thank everyone who's listening to it. And yeah.
And tell everyone your website again.
Oh yes, it's my website is ArmandoPizzuti.com, but you can find me on Facebook, like facebook.com/Armando Pizzuti. Because
and that's PIZZUTI.com.
Yes, that is renewing, it's remodeling, so if you go on Facebook, it's better.
Facebook.com/Armando Pizzuti. Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter, yes. It's twitter.com/Armando Pizzuti.
Oh, there's enough. I guess that's not more than 14 characters then, Armando Pizzuti. Well, you don't have to count them, but clearly it fits. So twitter.com/Armando Pizzuti.
And also you can find me on Tumblr. Yeah, it's always Armando Pizzuti. It's always the same.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for taking the time to chat with me and my listeners, and we'll all follow you and look for your big Hollywood break to come in the near future.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure for me.
This is Nicholas Snow, and what can I say? You gotta vote.
Gotta get up.
Gotta get to class.
Gotta pay that tuition.
Gotta get a job.
Gotta move out.
Gotta make my own decisions. About my own health.
About my own life.
Gotta stay positive.
Gotta keep working.
Gotta keep believing.
That it's our country.
Our country.
It's our country too.
Gotta keep moving forward.
Not back.
Gotta keep hope. Gotta vote.
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 I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
Visit www.gottavote.com. That's GOTTAVOTE. www.gottavote.com.
You're listening to SnowbizNow with Nicholas Snow.
Small screen,
Big Queen. Worldwide audience. It's not radio. It's Gadio.
Before I wrap up the show, I'd like to conclude with my own song, The Power to Be Strong, which is to promote HIV testing and safer sex. I want to give a shout out to Bruno Brugnano, who produced the song, Ayano Kimura, who sings beautiful backup for me, O Natapon, who directed the music video, which you may view and share subtitled in 20 languages at youtube.com/thepowertobestrong. Have you had your HIV test? Could there be a chance that you might be HIV positive?
Out of the dark, let your light shine the way. Knowledge is power, turn the night into day. You're not alone, dance with me. chance. Transform your life with this magical dance. Deep in your heart is the power to live. Precious and loved, you have so much to give. You're not alone, dance with me. Listen to the message of my song. Within you is the power to be strong. No matter who you are, no matter what you feel, this is your moment now, and your life is real. So get tested and live longer and be strong. Get tested and live longer and be strong. Rhythm and beat are a part of the dance, inflaming your soul, but please don't take a chance. When passion and love ignite flames of desire, take care of yourself, don't get burned by the fire. You're not alone, dance with me. Listen to the message of my song. Within you is the power to be strong. No matter who you are, no matter what you feel, this is your moment now, and your life is real. So play safely and live longer and be strong. Play safely and live longer and be strong. No matter who you are, no matter what you feel, this is your moment now, and your life is real. So play safely and live longer and be strong. Hear my song, life goes on. Get tested and live longer and be strong.
SnowbizNow is brought to you by Nicholas Snow Productions. For everything you may wish to know about our company, to contact us about buying advertising or procuring our syndicated content, or to submit questions, comments, breaking news, or gossip, simply visit SnowbizNow.com. Once again, that's SnowbizNow.com. Until next time, thank you for being a part of the snowstorm. We're honored by your presence.